Slouched at the bar, that bar over there, clutching his empty glass like a sleepy child's teddy bear, Riley untangled his jelly legs from his stool and shuffled forward as if in manacles. He contemplated what his wife Sally would think of him falling through the door in this state. Well, people say you've had your day, you got what you deserve. But I don't buy into that, I don't believe a word. You're my sunshine girl, my tall grass in the wind. You keep on standing strong against everything. Let me tell you about the things I've done. Let me tell you how they all mean nothing without love, without your love. Someone said they saw you dancing the night away, and what a sin it was to act that way. Now you don't rock any boats as you roll along. You're dancing forever, just like the song. Let me tell you about the things I've done. Let me tell you that they all mean nothing without love, without your love, without love, baby. During his seasick stagger to the chip shop, Riley clung onto a garden wall as if it was a piece of driftwood from a shipwreck. His chin drilled down his chest, and his thoughts swam back to his childhood. Merry music filled his head, and he even managed a clumsy jig before toppling over head first. Have you ever felt time floating by, like a falling leaf when the river is high? The sky is empty except for the sun. Everything's warm and golden. Nothing to get up for, you don't want to lay in on this pastoral, pastoral wakes, pastoral. Have you ever seen a woman in a summer cotton dress, when her hair's the colour of a finch's eggs? Lavender and rosehip were never so sweet as the scent in the air whenever we meet. If you could harvest this feeling, we'd be higher than the corn on this pastoral, pastoral wakes, pastoral. Take me down to the churchyard when they ring that bell. We can draw inspiration just like water from a well. If all this beauty is heaven sent, that's where we'll find true fulfillment. Only one thing on my mind as I pass through the wishing gate on this pastoral, pastoral wakes, pastoral. Wow. Riley's mother Martha, she'd been a war bride, but not long after his father Albert had been called up, the letters home stopped coming. Fearing the worst, she applied for a widow's pension, only to discover that he was simply missing in Acton. Life was hard and Riley rebelled without a father. "Ah, you grow more like him every day," his mother used to say. Well, dark clouds are gathering, hard times rationing. There's a curfew coming down. Inside this air raid shelter, there's so much I need to tell her before the siren sounds. We are evacuees from our feelings. We're running away from the war. We are refugees that are fleeing, escaping the torture. Bombshells drop late at night, craters filled with broken lives, all buried in the debris. Anger burning like the Blitz, dreams are filled with battleships. Truth always hits the target. We are evacuees from our feelings, and we're running away from the war. We are refugees that are fleeing, escaping the torture. Sally and Riley had grown up together in a small rural community. They'd play fort and scrummed apples long before they stole kisses and wrestled with each other's emotions. But there was bad blood between their families. Sally's father bred champion pigeons, and his daughter's love for Riley was like a cat among them. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't put the hare before the dog. I'll lay my wares before your heart. You just didn't stop to look. If I could dance, I'd take a chance with you, but I can't. No, I just can't. But in a glance, I'll be there with you for a lark, just for a lark. Don't put the cart before the horse. Don't put the hare before the dog. I'll lay my wares before your heart. You just didn't stop to look. Now even with the sharpest knives, this ain't no life for a wife. Let's make hay in sunshine while it still shines, while it still shines. But don't put the cart before the horse. Don't put the hare before the dog. I'll lay my wares before your heart. Yeah, just didn't start to know. Steady on. I know it's hard to get carried away. Against all good advice, Riley and Sally left the village for the town where they were married. They were scared, but their love knew no bounds. Sally's father now denied he even had a daughter, and the pain cut deep and ran like a seam through his cold black heart. You're going back on your raising, back on your word. You're going back on everything that you ever learned. You got the keys to the sweet shop, you're gonna meet a bitter end. Glad you Daddy ran that nightclub. He stayed up all night with his friends. You're going back on your raising, back on your word. You're going back on everything, girl, you ever learned. You got a friend in Jesus, you got a friend in the devil too. Maybe that's the reason that you're a cross between the two. And you're going back on your raising, back on your word. You're going back on everything, child, you ever learned. You're going back on your raising, back on your word. You're going back on everything that you ever learned, Despite Riley's best efforts, life in their little hell on wheels. Yeah? Was it? No, it wasn't. The reserve one we got. Without 2 pennies to rub together, you know what that's like. Riley and Sally began to rub each other up their own way. Love's warm glow dimmed in the cold light of day, and jobs for a country boy in the town were like hen's teeth. So Riley reluctantly took a job in a factory. Sally was pregnant when they moved to a caravan on waste ground. Alone all day in a little tin box, Sally felt little more than a battery hen, and Riley's wages amounted to little more than chicken feed. Ah. I know I made you cry. Those heart streaming tears, all your thoughts were dark. At the edge of your fear, on these occasions of deep suspicion, from the investigations, I go missing. Abandonment, issues of trust, when the cross you bear sometimes gets too much on these occasions. For the sake of heaven, from the congregation, I go missing. There's no blind eyes to turn the other way tonight. There's no fair trial if both your hands are tied. On these occasions, I pray to be forgiven when I've been on a mission. I go missing. I'm as pure as the snow that's driven, but I go missing. Despite Riley's best efforts, life in their little hell on wheels became totally unbearable. After the wide open spaces that they'd known, living so confined just magnified all their differences. They fought constantly and both realised they'd made a huge mistake. For instance, that thing you said the other day stayed in my mind, won't go away. It's driving me crazy. just like snow. Comes the wind and away they blow. Your heart's like a piece of coal lying in the road. For instance, why did you drink all my wine? You knew it was past closing time. Yeah. With all your scarves and your gypsy dress, you don't half look a mess, babe. Worse for wearing your Sunday best. For instance, you said you were God's gift, and that you could do the splits and crack a walnut with your hips. But why don't you pull the other one? You know that it's got bells on, but it's not even Sunday morning. For instance, you said you stood on one leg while you drank another keg. That's how you ended up in bed. But you wouldn't even bat an eye if a spider or a fly did a little dance across the kitchen tiles. For instance, for instance, for instance, for instance. Sally's discontent and hopelessness at the situation left Riley feeling beleaguered, and he found it harder to toe the line in a job that he actually hated. Humiliated when he was asked to do certain menial tasks. A fierce streak of pride inherited from his family's Romany blood boiled up inside him. And following a fight with the foreman, like his father before him, he received his marching orders. You're all hat and no Cadillac. You're all bad and you're no good crack. You speak plain, but you don't drift far from the track. Hey, give me back my whistle and my bridle. Give me back my horses and my caravan. Give me back my tradition. You're all hat and no Cadillac. You're all bad and no good crack. You speak plain, you don't stray far from the path. Give me back my curses and my suspicions, fortune telling and my premonitions. Give me back my intuition, 'cause your hands and no Cadillac. You're all bad, no good crack. You speak plain, you don't stray far from the path. Her husband losing his job was the last straw for Sally, or it broke the last one that she was clutching at. She thought that maybe love was just like a harvest that had failed, and like the dead straw, she bailed. The next day when Riley woke up, it was the morning after the life before, and there was a bailiff at the door with an eviction order. Riley's hackles rose and he let fly a stream of old country insults. Hey squire, you got eyes like a potato. You got cauliflower ears and a toffee nose too. One more word out of your cake-hole, someone's gonna make mincemeat out of you. Will you let me stay on your land, rent free, you understand. But it won't be for long, because my pride is strong. How long before that Barney, how long before that Barney starts to brew? Hey Squire, you got eyes like a potato, cauliflower ears and a tucky nose too. Just one more word out of your Keiko, someone's gonna make mincemeat out of you. Yeah, someone's gonna have a beef with you. Homeless and broke, but determined to stick it out, Riley took to scrounging around junk shops and attic sales for bargains at Hume Hall. He sold these on at a profit to pay for food and lodgings. Oh, attic sale, that's where you find yourself a bargain, or just somebody else's troubles. At the attic sale, people shed their belongings so they don't have to look at them anymore. A clock that needed mending, that could never keep good time. An old love letter that needed sending, but someone must have changed their mind. At the attic sale, where you find yourself a bargain, or just somebody else's troubles. At the attic sale, people shed their belongings so they don't have to think of them anymore. A tiny book of sonnets with this inscription just inside: 50 kisses for you always, dated 1945. Attic sale, where you find yourself a bargain, or just somebody else's troubles. One rainy afternoon, we're getting there, not long then. One rainy afternoon, Riley ducked into a charity shop to keep dry, and an old guitar caught his eye. He remembered something his uncle used to say: if you learn to play an instrument, then you'll always have a friend. You get laid as well. And he needed a friend. I just threw that, that's not in the script, I threw that in. Yeah. He paid very little for it, but it turned out it'd been owned by a famous rock and roll star from the 1950s. It had a lot of nostalgic value. And the story of it, its discovery, made the local newspapers. And Riley was invited to make personal appearances. He even learned a few chords, and he wrote this little song on it that became quite popular. Give me that junk shop rhythm, give me that throwaway tune, play it on a washboard, play it on a set of spoons. Well, it's old and it's creaky, it just keeps along. It's in need of charity, and that begins at home. It's got a mothball perfume, it's from the good old days. It haunts the dance halls where once it was a craze. This drum shop rhythm's got everyone on their feet. Even the Salvation Army are too crazy to sleep. Do you want to clap your hands for me to get it going? Come on. Yeah. If you hear this drum sharp rhythm from a rag and bone man, we'll give him some money, give him anything you can, because things in this life die so easily, but not this drum sharp rhythm, if you do it with me. Woo! He likes that. So here we go. Riley was always the first in the pub in the morning. Chucking in time, they called it. He would sing his little song for the punters, and they would buy him drinks and give him enough change for a bed for the night. He never heard from Sally ever again. Oh. And this made him feel empty inside, but the beer every day filled him up like the barrel that it came from. And at last orders, the barmaid would always shout, "Hey Riley, same again." "I'm sure it will be tomorrow, darling," he would reply. "But you know, I think I've had enough. I'm only bringing back the empties." I've lived an unusual life, so far from the 9 to 5. It wasn't easy and I've had to fight some home truths and the stage fright. But there's not much left to see, I'm just bringing back the empty. I don't know how we get this far, we can't remember where we are. When your thoughts, they're as clear as the froth on your pint of beer. There's not much left to see, I'm just bringing back these empties. If I had my life back over again, there's so many things I've changed. Learning from the guitar how life is measured out in bars. There's not much left to see, I'm bringing back the empty. They say all the world's a stage, we're typecast by the role we play. Every story has a character of comic tragedy. There's not much left of me, I'm bringing back the empty. No, there's not much left of me, I'm just bringing back the empty. Thank you!